Hey guys, thank you so much for purchasing the All the Cool Kids craft pack from the Too Cool for School craft pack series. So in this video, we are going to be doing the UV DTF decals to make our projects. So when you get your order, you are going to get it just like this, rolled up and rubber banded, but you can just remove that. And then when you unroll it, you are going to see that there are so many different options for designs and all kinds of really cool stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting out the first project I want to do. But first, I'm gonna remove this top piece with the dotted line. Okay, and I know you guys love to do extra fun little projects with our logo for each craft pack. So if you do that, please post it on our Facebook group and show us. We love to see your all's creative ideas in the works and what you guys like to do with those extra pieces. So the first project I want to do is our water bottle. So the design that we have for this one is this big wrap right over here. It is Cool Kids Style Guide, classes in session. It's got skateboards, it's got hats, it's got sunglasses, really cool stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out this design. So we have our full wrap here, but there's a little bit too much space on this side. So I'm going to cut off a good chunk of this, but I am going to leave a little bit of space between the design and where I'm gonna cut, and I will show you exactly why here in a minute. All right, so let's get out our water bottle. It's going to come in its very own box like this, and a little plastic bag. And these water bottles are so cool because they have a screw top lid, but it also stays on. So you can just pop it back on and screw it. But we're going to remove the entire top of the lid, so that way it is going to make it easy to do this wrap. And once you have your water bottle and your design, we are going to place it and we are going to see what this wrap looks like. So you just want to make sure that it is lined exactly where you want it. And then you can take a couple pieces of painter's tape, or if you want to do one big stripe, that is totally up to you. But I'm going to use some painter's tape and apply it where it is over the design and on the water bottle itself. And I actually notice I have a little bit too much space down here, so let me cut a little bit extra of this off. I'm gonna keep my finger on the painter's tape I already have, so that way it doesn't move. Let me realign it here. Gonna use our other piece to apply at the bottom. And then so now whenever you let go, your design's not gonna move anywhere, and we are going to be able to implement the hinge method to apply this. So you can start with whichever side you're more comfortable with. I like to start on the right-hand side. So now we are going to expose just a little bit of this backing here, but we don't want to expose the decal itself. We just want that little bit of extra space that we allowed from when we cut next to the design. Okay. Cut just a little bit of that backing off. Okay, and now that that area is exposed, you can use your finger to just adhere that small section. So now that we have that area adhered, we can go ahead and remove our painter's tape. And from there, you are going to flip it over and the backing is going to start to roll off. So this is where you can take your squeegee and just start going up and down on the design, and you will see where that backing starts to roll off. And then right before we get to the edge, we want to make sure that there's not going to be any overlap. So just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna go ahead and start removing a little bit of the area at the beginning. And you should just be able to grab it and pull that away. And then now we know there is not going to be any kind of overlap, and you can finish applying that side of your design. And then you can just go over with a squeegee just to make sure everything is adhered properly. This is a mostly solid design, so you won't have to worry about any small pieces to really pay attention to. Everything should really apply with ease. Okay, and then now once you're ready, you can just start removing that transfer. And there we go. We have the full wrap applied. It looks amazing. So let's go ahead and add our lid back on. We're ready to go. It has a little hook. You can apply it to your backpack or any kind of bag. And then let's do our notebook next. Okay, now we are ready to apply our design to our notebook. So there are some different pages in here. You have like a weekly little planner. There's a little checklist, or you can make little notes on there. A really cute little size here. So let's pick out our design. So we have a couple different options here. We can do the cool kids, or there's also too cool for school, too smart to skip. So let me see, let's think here. What do we want to do? Let's go ahead and keep everything consistent. Let's do this cool kids design. We're gonna make everything match today. So I want to figure out where I want to place my design. So this design, you can go right in the middle, you can go a little bit more towards the top, or a little bit more towards the bottom. If you do the top or bottom, you can even further customize this. And we're gonna show you how in the video in the description below if you want to learn how to do that. But I'm going to place this one right in the middle, and I'm going to use that hinge method again. So I just want to peel just enough to expose that backing there and cut that little piece off. And then you can just place it and use your finger to adhere that top piece there. Flip it on over, that backing should start to remove itself, and then you can use your squeegee to just roll it off the rest of the way. Just use your squeegee to burnish on really, really well, and then you can just remove that transfer. And if you have any little pieces, a couple of these little lines wanted to come up on mine, so I'm just gonna place it back down, use my squeegee, and they adhered just fine. And there we go. We have our little planner. It matches our water bottle. So let's do our pen next, so that way we can write in our notebook. All right, so now we are going to make our pen. So let's disassemble it. We are going to take off this little top here. And guys, these pens can be used for sublimation, but we have included a pen wrap for you guys in this pack. So I'm really excited to show it to you. Make sure you take out the ink and spring, and then this piece here with the coils just pulls right on out. So I'm gonna use my squeegee because it has these cool little ridges where you can place it right on there and it's not gonna roll away. So let's pick our design, and I think I already know which one I'm gonna use. So these up here are our options. We have the too cool for school, too smart to skip, and we also have the cool kids, class is in session. But like I said, I want us to match. So let's use this cool kids design. And oh, my little pen's trying to roll away. Let's get this applied here. And then I'm going to cut pretty close to my design. I don't want a whole lot of extra. Okay, so this one is gonna be a little bit trickier, but don't worry guys, we are going to make this happen. So this pen does have a little slot here. So our wrap is going to go around the vast majority of this pen, but we want to be aware that this slot is here, so that way our design does not go over top of it. So I'm going to line it up about the middle, and I'm going to kind of fold it over here. And it looks like this is going to be perfect. It's not going to go over that slot at all. So instead of using some painter's tape, you can use it if you want to, but I'm just gonna hold on to the middle of this part with my thumb. Since this one's such a smaller blank, I think that we can go ahead and just go for it, guys. We're gonna go for it. So I'm going to remove a little bit of that backing exactly like we would for our hinge method, but I am gonna do this one a little bit differently. So let's remove that. And then since we still have our pin in place, I'm going to just roll that side on and adhere with my finger that exposed area. Okay, so now that we have that ready, we are going to just flip it over, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove the entirety of the backing. And then we're going to I'm gonna use my thumb, and we're just gonna go back and forth to get this one applied. But you wanna make sure once you get towards the edge, I don't think we'll have a problem with overlap, but if you find that you have a little bit more of that clear area without the design on it, just like how we had with the water bottle, do the exact same thing. Start to remove this other side before you finish applying the rest. But for this, I do not have that problem, so I'm gonna go ahead and just apply the whole thing. I'm gonna take my squeegee, just give it a quick little once over, and then we can start removing that transfer. All right, and now that we have that applied, we are ready to reassemble our pin. So I'm gonna start with placing the part with the coils back inside, and this little piece here is going to go on the same side as that slot. And this little piece just pushes all the way in. We add our ink and our spring, and finally our little cap. And then now we have a really cool pin that matches our notebook, and it matches our water bottle. So we have one final project, guys. We have the bag tag. So let's get that one done. All right, guys, so last but not least in our projects is the bag tag. So these will come with a covering on them. Don't be alarmed, this is gonna be able to be removed. It's just a protective covering to make sure that the acrylic is not scratched or damaged during transit. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove one side of it. I'm gonna keep the other side on though, because that really helps me see for placement. If you wanna remove both of them at the same time, you go for it, but I'm gonna keep my one on there. So we have a couple different designs we can use for this. We have Ready to Crush this year. It has a really fun unicorn. We have Classroom Cool Crew, which I think is fun. And we also have the I'm Back by Popular Demand. And I think that's the one that I'm gonna go with. I think that one is so funny. So I think that is going to be the design I choose. All right, now that we have that cut out, we still have all kinds of extra goodies and designs that you can use for all kinds of different projects. So that's the amazing thing about these craft packs is not only do you get the designs for the projects, but you get even more than what you would use. So I am going to actually keep this good portion down here. We're gonna do this one a little bit differently, but I am gonna cut off. I had a little bit of extra here at the top. So what I'm gonna do for this one, I'm basically just going to apply it. We're not gonna use the hinge method for this one, but I'm gonna keep this bottom piece down here so that way I can get a hold of the design. So we're just gonna remove the back, grab a hold of this bottom, and get that placement. And once it's on there, you can just use your squeegee, burnish it on, and then we can start removing that transfer. There we go. And then from there, you can remove this backing, and there's even a way that you can further customize these projects, and we're gonna show you how to do that. So if you are interested in further customizing your designs, then make sure you check out the video in the description below. But until then, guys, we have our Back by Popular Demand bag tag. We have our Cool Kids notebook. We have our pen, so that way we can write in our notebook, and we have our water bottle. So I hope you guys had as much as fun as I did. These are gonna be really great to put in gifts for your kids for back to school. And as always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us.